प्रेजेंटेड बाय ईबिक्स कैश। हर खुशी के लिए काफी है।
Hello and welcome. You're with us here on Business Today. I'm Abha Bakaya. Here are the headlines tonight. Sensex rises for a third straight day, soars over 650 points. Nifty tops 17,800, led by power, oil and gas and banking stocks. It's a Business Today TV exclusive. Cars in India could soon have 6 airbags. Transport Ministry looking at making 4 more airbags mandatory for all passenger vehicles. State Bank of India bets big on the fintech sector, invests $20 million in payment solutions company Pine Labs. Urgent hearing in Quebec Superior Court tonight after a Canadian court orders seizures of Air India's assets in the Davis case. Sources tell Business Today TV that the case will not impact the airline's disinvestment. One of India's leading business families to clash in court. Fight over the Hero electric brand takes the Munjals to Delhi High Court on Wednesday. Well, the New Year party continues on Dalal Street. The benchmarks moving higher for a third consecutive session. Sensex soaring nearly 700 points, aiming for that 60,000 mark. Nifty rallying 179 points, reclaiming 17,800. Buying interest in financials, oil and gas and IT shares pushed the headline indices higher. Index heavyweight Reliance Industries, NTPC, ONGC led the rally. SBI and Power Grid 2 gained over 2% each. However, selling pressure in healthcare and metal stocks limited the upside. Tata Motors was the top loser after CLSA downgraded the stock to a sell. Coal India, Tata Consumer, Sun Pharma and Shree Cement were among the laggards. With the bulls in the driver's seat, investors got richer by 4.76 lakh crore rupees in the first 2 trading days of the new year. Now, after making 2 airbags mandatory in cars from the 1st of this year, the government is now aiming for 6. Yes, you heard that right. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has begun work to expedite a policy making installation of 6 airbags in all passenger vehicles mandatory. A meeting on this issue took place in October between top officials of the ministry and leading airbag manufacturers. Sources say that the cost of installing 4 extra airbags will be between 9 to 10,000 rupees for each car. India accounts for nearly 10% of all road crash victims globally. It's not known when this new rule will be effective. Let's go across to Chetan, who is tracking this. Chetan, talk us through really what perhaps prompted the government to move from 2 to 6 in the span or in such a short span of time. While meetings were ongoing, they've only just implemented the new rule.
Well, that's right. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has officially begun work on expediting the policy for having 6 airbags mandatory in all the vehicles and all the variants in India. Well, we can expect in times to come safer cars could roll out from the country for definitely curbing the road accidents and for enhancing road safety in India. Well, what sources are claiming is the fact that post Nitin Gadkari's announcement in August 2021 that his appeal towards the auto industry was that all the vehicles should have 6 airbags. The auto industry and the government began working. In fact, in October 2021, top representatives from the auto airbags industry had met with the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways officials to discuss the way ahead. And what sources are telling us right now is the fact that for about 4 airbags extra, the cost is about 9 to 10,000 rupees, and the modification charges would vary about 1,000 to 1,500 rupees. Well, what sources are also claiming is the fact that each airbag is in the range of about 1,800 to 2,000 rupees, and for modifying the vehicle accordingly, the cost for each vehicle would increase by about 800 to 1,000 rupees. So in all, the vehicles could probably be more expensive by 10,000 rupees, but yes, having 6 airbags would definitely be a great move for road safety in India. Remember, from January 1st, 2022, the government has mandated that all the vehicles that are manufactured would have front 2 airbags mandatory, like the driver airbag and the co-passenger airbag would definitely be a mandatory feature in every vehicle. So in times to come, we could expect a move in which 6 airbags would be made mandatory.
Chetan, thanks for joining us with that. Now, as Pine Lab gears up for its IPO, the company has added another feather to its cap. India's largest bank, SBI, has made a $20 million investment in the merchant platform company. Pine Labs will invest the new funds in scaling Plural, its newly launched brand of online payment products. In 2021, Pine Labs raked in $700 million across 2 rounds of fundraising. Its other investors include the likes of Sequoia, Temasek, PayPal and MasterCard. The company is all set to expand its buy now, pay later service across India and Southeast Asia. The CEO said the company was thrilled to have the largest Bank of India place their trust in the company. A hearing is currently underway in a superior court in Quebec, Canada, to hear Air India's plea on the seizure of its assets ordered earlier by a local court. The urgent hearing comes after a Canadian court authorized the seizure of assets belonging to the Airport Authority of India and Air India held with the International Air Transport Association in the Quebec province in District of Montreal. The seizure was ordered on application from Devas Multimedia, which has filed multiple petitions to enforce arbitration awards against the Indian government. So what is this case that has the central government rattled? Will it impact the disinvestment process of Air India as is being speculated? Watch this report for some answers.
The saga harks back to 2011 when the UPA government cancelled a contract between Devas Multimedia and Indian Space Research Organization's commercial arm, Antrix Corporation, following allegations of irregularities in a leaked draft audit report of the Controller and Auditor General. The deal signed in 2005 involved Antrix building and launching 2 satellites and leasing spectrum to Devas for providing satellite-based internet services. Stung by the cancellation, Devas shareholders embarked on legal action, which culminated in 2 international arbitration rulings against the Government of India. In September 2015, the International Chamber of Commerce Arbitration Court ordered Antrix to pay $672 million to Devas. This was followed by another ruling in favor of Devas last October, which saw a $111 million plus interest award by the Permanent Court of Arbitration under the Indo-Mauritius Bilateral Investment Treaty. Meanwhile, litigation within India has seen the National Company Law Tribunal issue an order for liquidation of Devas Multimedia. In May last year, the NCLT ordered the liquidation on the basis of a petition by Antrix Corporation. The Bengaluru bench of the NCLT was of the view that Devas Multimedia was incorporated with a fraudulent motive to collude and connive with then officials of Antrix to get bandwidth from it. The CBI and the Enforcement Directorate have also filed charge sheets into the alleged irregularities in the deal. An appeal is currently pending at the Supreme Court. Matters have come to a head with a Canadian court in Montreal passing separate orders on the 24th of November and 21st of December on plea by the shareholders to enforce the arbitration awards against the Indian government. With Devas saying that it has seized more than 30 million worth of Airport Authority of India and Air India's funds held by the International Air Transport Association following the court order, the battle is now set to escalate even further as the company has warned that this action is only the beginning. The development does not impact the Tata Group, which will take over Air India later this month, as it has been granted indemnity from past legal claims as part of the agreement with the government. Bureau Report, Business Today TV.
The future of the sale of Air India to the Tata Group will be decided on Thursday, 6th of January by the Delhi High Court. The court today heard a plea by Rajya Sabha MP Subramaniam Swamy to quash the disinvestment of Air India. Swamy termed the disinvestment process unconstitutional, malified and corrupt, saying it was rigged in favor of the Tatas. According to Swamy, the only other was a consortium led by the SpiceJet owner, who was ineligible to the bid because of an insolvency process ongoing in the Madras High Court against SpiceJet. The BJP leader also alleged that the SpiceJet owner had, after the bid, said he was happy that he participated because if he had not, the bidding process could not have gone forward. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, representing the central government, told the court that disinvestment was a policy decision taken by the government because the national carrier was running into losses. He maintained that there was nothing surreptitious about the deal. Mehta added that SpiceJet was never part of the consortium and that the proceedings in Madras High Court did not affect its owner, Ajay Singh. The Government Council added that the centre was losing 20 crore rupees a day on account of delay in divestment. The court will give its order this Thursday. While major automakers in the country are pitted against each other in the EV race, the Hero Group is fighting an internal battle. 12 years after a split in the group, a fraternal dispute has erupted over the use of the brand Hero Electric. The high-profile case is scheduled to be heard in the Delhi High Court on Wednesday.
It is the technology of the future, and at present looks like the future of automobiles. Something Pawan Munjal and Hero Moto could not have imagined 12 years ago, when a division of the Hero family assets was affected. Today, 2 of the 4 Munjal family branches are at loggerheads over brand Hero Electric. In the 2010 split, Brij Mohanlal Munjal and his 4 sons got control of Hero Honda, while Dayanand Munjal and his son Vijay Munjal were handed Hero Electric and Hero Exports. The 2 other brothers, O.P. Munjal and Satyanand Munjal, were given other parts of the Hero brand. All was peaceful till a couple of years ago when e-scooters suddenly erupted on the auto horizon. Suddenly, the dormant Hero Electric brand was kinetic. Hero Moto wanted a piece of the electric pie and is getting ready to launch e-scooters under the Hero brand. Naveen Munjal, scion of the Dayanand Munjal family, has moved the Delhi High Court against his cousin Pawan Munjal, promoter and chairman of Hero Moto Corp, seeking an injunction on Hero Moto Corp from using the brand name of its upcoming line of electric two-wheelers. In the past, Naveen has been quoted as saying that only his branch of the family has the right to use the Hero brand for green vehicles basis the 2010 family agreement. Hero Moto Corp has been tight-lipped about the matter, although the buzz is that the company plans to unveil its electric product lineup this March. In past, Pawan Munjal has been quoted as saying that his firm has provisioned significant investments over a 10-year roadmap for electric vehicles with ambitions to export them as well. While Delhi High Court had in a ruling last year asked the 2 groups to enter into arbitration, the move doesn't seem to have yielded any result. The court's ruling in this matter will be a crucial milestone in Hero Moto's ambitious plans for the EV space. India's electric vehicle space is in its infancy at this stage, accounting for an estimated 1.3% of total vehicle sales in India in the past year. A report by consulting company RBSA Advisor adds that the EV market is expected to increase at a compounded annual growth rate of 90% in this decade to touch $150 billion by 2030. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
Tech companies will kick off the December quarter earnings season next week with TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech and Wipro releasing their numbers. Healthy deal flows are likely to drive revenue growth. Experts believe that mid-cap IT companies are likely to continue to outperform large-cap firms, and some brokerages expect upward revision in guidance for growth for the IT sector's major companies. Let's head across to our researcher, Sakshi Batra, for more details.
Well, that's right, Abha. The IT sector remains in spotlight due to the increased digitization and the work-from-home culture in COVID-19, and is likely to report a very strong performance in the December quarter earnings, especially when we talk about the large IT companies per se on the back of the increased deal pipeline as well. And that is despite the higher attrition levels that we've been seeing in this October to December period, and also the increased pay hikes and also the lower working days that we've been seeing. Brokerage houses are also also expecting an upward revision of the growth guidance from these big wigs like TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech, and also Wipro. And that actually comes in from the fact that Accenture had set the tone for the Indian IT companies in the last week of December by also improving and upgrading its sales guidance and also the EPS guidance as well. Now, apart from that, the large cap IT companies are likely to report a revenue growth in the constant currency terms of about in the range of 3 to 5 odd %. Now, when we talk about the margin expansion as well, that is also expected to be in the range of 50 to 180 basis points per se. And that is despite any kind of impact that we've been seeing due to the increased cost of, say, hiring, furloughs, and the lower working days in this December or the year-end period as well.
Sakshi, thanks so much for that. Let's go across to Gaurang Shah of Geojit Financial Services for a look at what to expect from some of those IT earnings. What's in store? Gaurang, take us through, given that we've seen consistent outperformance by the IT majors, what really is in store this earnings season?
So very strong verbatim as far as the management, post-management press conference more so for the second quarter. First quarter this financial year was strong expectation of return to normalcy. Second quarter surprised all of us with the kind of big ticket clients and the constant currency attrition rate coming down, employee per cost being in a very controlled manner, and more importantly, I think service industry is something that adjusts to this new normal, which we all are living into sooner rather than later. And if I have to go by the commentary of the second quarter, most of the frontline and mid-cap IT companies, they are expecting a better than expected quarter for the third quarter this financial year. Fourth quarter could be even better, given the opportunity that lies not only in the global markets, but also in the domestic markets. I think they've got a great opportunity. And we at Geojit believe that IT could be one of the star performers, at least for the next 2 or 3 or 4 quarters.
Gaurang, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a quick peek into really what to expect as earnings season gets ready to kick off. We've seen a record number of new traders and investors in 2021. Despite the recent correction, Nifty rose 23% for the year. Greed and fear have played a significant role in the ultimate lap of 2021. Zerodha founder and CEO Nitin Kamath in his recent tweets highlighted that just 1% of active traders make more than bank fixed deposits over 3 years time frame. He further added that traders with an alternate source of income tend to do better or have higher odds of winning than those who rely only on trading for a living. Further, the pressure to generate profits daily or monthly can lead to more mistakes. The closure of a factory manufacturing mobile handsets for Apple, Oppo and Vivo at a location close to Chennai could extend up to 10th of January. The Foxconn plant in Sriperumbudur had shut on the 18th of December after agitation by women employees. The protests were against an incident of food poisoning in dormitories. 150 employees had to be admitted to hospital. The employees were also protesting living conditions at the Foxconn factory campus. According to latest reports, talks are still on between trade unions and the state government. The unions want employees to be able to stay in their own accommodation instead of factory dormitories. Nearly 95% of total employees in the factory are women. My colleague Pramod joining us from Chennai. Pramod, take us through what some of the main sticking points are in the talks between the state government and the unions.
Well, the protesting workers and the unions that are supporting them have very clearly mentioned to the government, who is working as an arbiter in this case, that they want better work conditions, especially the people that claim that more than 10,000 workers are present in the Foxconn plant, of which almost 95% are women workers, and they are not ready to work inside a place where they have to stay in hostels and outside accommodation is not allowed. This seems to be a very important factor over there, and not just that, they want proper food conditions and proper work conditions as well, along with actual increments year after year. These are the basic conditions that they are keeping as demands with the state government.
So is there a fear that the image of Tamil Nadu as a manufacturing hub would be tarnished because of this prolonged agitation?
Well, Tamil Nadu government has made it very clear. They want to make Tamil Nadu a $1 trillion economy by 2030, and that's the reason the state government is showing extreme interest in this particular case to make sure that this is handled amicably and solved as soon as possible. Not just that, the district officials are also employed over there. On Foxconn's part, certain mishandles has also been brought forward, especially about the food quality and such, which led to the protest at the first point. And to provide them with better work, the state has interfered, and they have stated that all that could be given for the workers will be brought in and accomplished to make sure that there is no hassle. And Tamil Nadu being a state with a lot of economic value, the state government is showing extreme interest in this case.
All right, thank you so much, Pramod. Definitely reconsidering some priorities in favor of the workers there. Now, in a much anticipated order, the Delhi High Court has dismissed petitions by the Future Group to terminate its arbitration with Amazon in Singapore. The court pronounced the judgment, which was reserved on Monday. The Future Group had approached the High Court, arguing that the arbitration was illegal in view of the Competition Commission of India's order against Amazon, which had suspended its 2019 deal with Future Coupons. The Singapore tribunal had refused to heed to the CCI order before beginning its final hearing in the case. Here's what else is making news in the corporate world. As per reports, Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Jio Infocom is planning its largest ever rupee bond sale as it readies to roll out 5G operations and increase market share. Reports suggest that the company is seeking commitments for up to $671 million of notes maturing in 5 years at a coupon of 6.2%. Biocon subsidiary Biocon Biologics will merge with Serum Institute of India's wholly owned subsidiary Covishield Technologies. With this, Biocon subsidiary will get committed access to 100 million doses of Serum's vaccines per annum for 15 years. It will also have commercialization rights for SI's vaccine portfolio, including COVID-19 vaccines for global markets. Tata Communications and telecom major Zain will together develop IT-enabled solutions for enterprises and government organizations in Saudi Arabia. Under the agreement, the companies will deliver solutions and platforms to remodel cities with smart street lighting, smart waste management, connected workplace, healthcare, and connected cars. And as we end the show, it's time to say goodbye to the iconic Blackberry phone. While the Android smartphones and iPhones have taken over the world of cell phones, it was the Blackberry which brought about a major change in the world of mobiles. But now it's time to bid adieu to those phones that made QWERTY keypads popular. Yes, you won't be able to make a call or send an SMS using a Blackberry, as the iconic phones will officially stop working from today. The legacy services for BlackBerry 7.1 OS and earlier BlackBerry 10 software will not work anymore. However, the BlackBerry phones running on Android OS will continue to function.